Make sure to keep this painting in your home if you want to attract money quickly. Wealth isn't random, it follows energy. And for centuries, those who understood this truth have used one quiet secret: art. Not just any painting, but one chosen with intention, placed in the right spot at the right time. Look closely. In homes of the wealthy or in movies about success, there's always a special painting. It's not there by accident. In Feng Shui, paintings are energy tools. They shape your mindset, influence your space, and, yes, attract money. Today, I'll show you which paintings silently block abundance and which ones can turn your home into a magnet for wealth. But first, type a positive affirmation in the comments, like, "I attract wealth with ease." A small action, but it opens big energy. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom, where ancient teachings meet modern life. Now, let's begin with the most important step: removing the paintings that may be quietly pushing your prosperity away. Number 1. Landscape paintings with mountains and water. In the teachings of both Feng Shui and Buddhist wisdom, the space we live in is not separate from our inner world. It reflects our state of mind, our energy, and the intentions we carry. A harmonious landscape painting of mountains and water is more than just art. It is a silent teacher, a symbol of balance that nurtures both the soul and the flow of fortune in our lives. These paintings, revered in Eastern traditions, represent the sacred dialogue between stillness and motion. The mountain offering a sense of grounded strength, while the gentle flow of water invites prosperity, growth, and the nourishment of life. Together, they embody what is known in Feng Shui as hidden wind, gathered energy, a concept that describes the ideal energy field where abundance can gather and remain. When the mountain stands behind and the water flows calmly in front, this alignment symbolizes enduring support and the steady accumulation of wealth, just like the foundations of a life built on integrity and patience. As the Buddha once said, "As a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame." This same sense of stability is what a mountain in your space can offer, an anchor amid the uncertainties of modern life. Yet it's not just about material wealth. The true power of these paintings lies in how they influence the mind. According to Buddhist thought, nature is a mirror of the Dharma, a realm where the truth reveals itself quietly. When you look at a landscape where mist weaves through the hills, rivers curve like poetry across the earth, and trees stand peacefully in the distance, the noise inside you starts to quiet down. In today's world, where constant comparison and busyness often leave us anxious or drained, this moment of stillness can be deeply healing. Feelings of scarcity begin to soften, and in their place grows a sense of gratitude and calm. The painting becomes a gentle reminder to slow down, to trust the natural flow of life, and to know that like a river carving its path over time, prosperity too follows a natural rhythm. It cannot be forced, only invited with the right condition. This is why the direction and placement of such paintings matter. When water in the painting flows inward, toward your living space, your work desk, or a corner of your home associated with wealth, it energetically encourages abundance to come in and stay. It's a visual affirmation that your life is ready to receive. But if the water flows outward, especially toward a door or off the canvas, it can symbolize resources slipping away unnoticed, like money that arrives but never quite stays. Many successful individuals, from seasoned entrepreneurs to spiritually inclined homeowners, intuitively or consciously understand this. They surround themselves with environments that support clarity, peace, and good fortune, not just through actions, but through symbols that reinforce their values and mindset daily. In the ever-changing flow of modern life, filled with distractions, uncertainty, and a rush for more, a well-placed, harmonious landscape painting serves as both a spiritual and energetic anchor. It doesn't just beautify your home, it cultivates inner alignment. And from that centered place, wise decisions arise, relationships improve, and prosperity naturally follows. As the Dhammapada reminds us, what we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and our present thoughts build our life of tomorrow. Our life is the creation of our mind. Choose to surround yourself with images that reflect peace, abundance, and balance. In doing so, you're not just decorating a wall, you're planting seeds of wisdom, stability, and wealth for the days to come. Number 2. Paintings of sunrise. If you're looking to invite prosperity, clarity, and new energy into your life, there's one simple yet powerful change you can make in your home. Hang a painting of a sunrise. Not just any painting, but one that captures the sun rising behind majestic mountains, over a calm lake, or rising from the boundless ocean. Why does this matter? Because a sunrise isn't just a beautiful scene, it's a living symbol of hope, renewal, and fresh beginnings. In Eastern wisdom traditions, the sunrise holds deep meaning. It reflects the light of awareness rising after darkness, the potential of each new day, and the steady rhythm of nature guiding us through change. So, when you bring this image into your home, you're not just decorating a wall, you're inviting in the spirit of rebirth and upward movement. From the perspective of feng shui, the sunrise represents the start of life's daily cycle, full of promise, energy, and natural flow. Where you place this painting matters. Ideally, hang it in a space where you spend time each day, like your living room, office, or a gathering area. This is a way of saying to yourself and to the universe, in this space we begin again. We rise with light, and we walk in harmony with abundance. Can you think of a space in your home where such energy would feel most welcome? Whether you're launching a new business, stepping into a fresh chapter of life, or recovering from a setback, this simple piece of art can help anchor your intention to grow and move forward. What's even more powerful is how this image can influence your mindset. Every time you see it, you're reminded that the past doesn't define the future. The Buddha said in the Anguttara Nikaya, "One who lives in mindfulness lights up their life like the morning sun." Think about that for a moment. How different would your days feel if you started each morning with a symbol that nudges you toward mindfulness, self-belief, and fresh purpose? A sunrise painting is more than a token of good luck. It's a daily encouragement to open your heart to what's possible, no matter what came before. It gently whispers, "Today is yours. Begin again." And if the sunrise in the artwork rises from the east, the direction of the Qian trigram in the I Ching, the message becomes even more profound. The east symbolizes clarity, leadership, decisive action, and perfect timing with the natural flow of life. It's an image that strengthens your presence and confidence, and subtly supports your efforts to grow influence and reputation in your work, your relationships, and your sense of self. So, ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want my environment to feed me each day? What would change in your life if your space mirrored the energy of someone who wakes up ready, steady, and filled with purpose? But don't overlook the practical side. Where and how you hang the painting makes a difference. Make sure it's placed somewhere that receives natural sunlight. This not only lights up the image itself, but strengthens its life-giving energy. Keep it away from dim corners, near bathrooms or shadowed hallways, as those areas tend to absorb rather than reflect the energy we want to grow. In this way, the painting becomes more than visual. It becomes energetic, a small but meaningful shift in how your home supports your intentions. In the end, the lesson is simple but profound. You have the ability to shape your space to support your spirit. A sunrise painting reminds you that you are allowed to begin again, to step into the light each day with courage, and to carry within you the wisdom that even the darkest night is followed by dawn. So, if you're feeling stuck, worn down, or uncertain, consider this a gentle call to action. Bring the sunrise into your home and into your heart. Let it be a daily teacher of hope, strength, and mindful presence. Because sometimes the smallest shifts in our environment can lead to the biggest shifts in our mindset. What kind of morning do you want to wake up to? Number 3. Paintings of roosters and singing birds. If you've been feeling like life has been moving in slow motion, whether in your work, your creativity, or your personal growth, then this message is for you. Have you ever considered that the space around you might be holding energy that either lifts you up or weighs you down? In many ancient traditions, especially in Feng Shui and Buddhist thought, it's believed that certain images hold powerful energetic signatures, and one of the most potent among them is the painting of a rooster or birds in flight. Now, you might wonder, why a rooster? Why birds? Let's look deeper. The rooster, in traditional Eastern culture, is far more than just a morning alarm clock. It's a creature of radiant yang energy, bright, alert, and full of purpose. Its crow pierces through the darkness, not just to welcome the sun, but to declare the start of new possibilities. When you hang a painting of a rooster in your home, especially near your front door, in your workspace, or in a place where decisions are made, you are inviting in the energy of clarity, determination, and noble protection. It becomes more than decoration. It becomes a silent guardian and a motivator. And here's something worth reflecting on. What if your environment could speak to your spirit every day? What would it say? A rooster says, "Stand tall. Speak with truth. Begin again." Just like the Buddha taught, with our thoughts we make the world. This painting is a way to choose the kind of world you want to live in, one where your goals are pursued with bravery, integrity, and unwavering focus. Now let's look up toward the sky and the birds that fill it. A painting of flying or singing birds brings another kind of energy into your space, one that speaks to the soul's yearning for freedom, growth, and inner clarity. Birds in flight are symbols found across many spiritual paths, including Buddhism, where they represent the Dharma, the truth that sets us free. Think of the bird not just as an animal with wings, but as a metaphor for a mind that has broken free from self-doubt, attachments, and fear. Just as a bird takes off into open skies, so too can your spirit rise beyond limitation when reminded of its true nature. A flock of birds, or even one perched in song, whispers gently to you, "Trust your journey. Your vision is valid. Let your ambitions soar." In Zen, there's a phrase, "No snowflake ever falls in the wrong place." Likewise, no dream is ever born in vain. When you surround yourself with images that elevate your mind, you create an environment that supports your highest self. So ask yourself, what kind of energy do you want your home to hold? If you're looking to call in prosperity, motivation, or a fresh start, a painting of a rooster or flying birds might be exactly the shift you've been needing. It's not just art, it's energy, it's wisdom. And it's a daily invitation to rise, to awaken, and to align your inner world with the life you want to live. Whether you're hoping to move past a period of stagnation, attract more luck in your career, or simply fill your space with inspiration, this small yet powerful addition to your home can be your quiet partner on the journey. What would it feel like to wake up each day to a reminder that light is always returning, that your voice matters, and that freedom is not found outside but within? You're not here by accident. This painting might just be the missing piece to attracting money faster than ever. Type abundance flows in the comments if you're ready to welcome wealth into your life. And don't stop now, the most powerful part of this message is coming up next. Let's unlock it together. Number 4. Peonies in full bloom. Among all the symbols of abundance and fortune in Feng Shui art, the peony stands tall as one of the most beloved and powerful. Often called the king of flowers, the peony isn't admired only for its lush beauty. It also carries deep spiritual and energetic meaning, woven through centuries of Eastern wisdom and practical home harmony. A painting of peonies in full bloom is more than a visual delight. It is a source of uplifting energy that gently works in the background of your life, enhancing your environment in subtle but powerful ways. Each delicate petal represents blossoming opportunities, consistent financial growth, and a life of richness, not just in wealth, but in spirit. And so, when you place this kind of painting in your home with mindfulness, you're not just decorating a wall, you're inviting in a vibration of abundance, gratitude, and joyful living. In today's fast-paced world, where financial pressures and emotional fatigue are common, many of us are seeking quiet tools that help us restore balance, grow stability, and cultivate meaningful relationships. This is where the peony painting becomes more than art. It becomes a living symbol. Its presence can anchor you to the feeling of financial security, not only helping to attract steady income, but also encouraging a mindset of self-worth, clarity, and generosity. The image of full blossoms reminds us that wealth isn't simply about numbers in a bank account, but about a state of heart, feeling full, open, and able to give and receive with ease. And when we shift our inner landscape in this way, the external world starts to reflect that change. Suddenly, the right opportunities begin to find you. Conversations open doors. You begin to feel supported rather than stuck. But the beauty of the peony doesn't stop with money. In Feng Shui, and even in deeper spiritual practice, this flower is also known to carry the energy of love, pure, loyal, and enduring. That's why many masters recommend placing a peony painting in the master bedroom. Under the gentle light of evening, the sight of blooming peonies serves as a quiet reminder. Love must be nurtured, spoken softly, and cherished daily. In a modern relationship where stress, distractions, and daily routines can dull the connection between partners, the energy of the peony painting can help bring warmth back into the room. It encourages communication, kindness, and emotional presence, the very things that keep relationships alive and growing. If you are single, this same energy can help awaken romantic potential and attract someone who is aligned with your heart's truth. And if you're in a relationship already, it acts like a quiet blessing, helping the love you share stay fresh and protected against the wear and tear of modern life. From a Buddhist perspective, we can also view the peony as a symbol of inner flowering. Just as the flower opens to the sunlight, we are also invited to open our hearts, to practice gratitude, to see beauty even in small things, and to appreciate the simple moments that make life meaningful. When we look at a painting of Peonies with awareness, we begin to absorb its message that true wealth comes from within. The artwork becomes a reminder to live with intention, to love deeply, and to choose joy over fear, compassion over control. In this way, the painting becomes a kind of spiritual mirror. It reflects back the best version of yourself and encourages you to live from that place. So, if you're looking to bring new life into your home, consider what a peony painting can offer. Place it somewhere special, with intention and care, and you might find that your space begins to shift. There may be no dramatic flashes of fortune overnight, but slowly and steadily the energy becomes lighter, warmer, more open. This is how good fortune often arrives, not in a rush, but like a quiet breeze that lets you know something good is coming. Let the painting be more than a decoration. Let it be a gentle guide toward a more abundant, loving, and meaningful life. Number 5. Paintings of cranes and pine trees. If you're looking to invite peace, prosperity, and strong, steady energy into your life and home, there's one painting that can do far more than just beautify your space. It can truly transform the atmosphere around you. A painting of cranes and pine trees is not just an artistic choice. It carries centuries of deep symbolic meaning, especially in traditions like Feng Shui, where energy and intention are everything. So let's take a moment to really understand why this combination is so powerful. The crane, long respected as a sacred bird, is more than just a symbol of grace. It represents purity of spirit, spiritual freedom, and the kind of wisdom that rises above everyday worries. Picture a crane soaring high into the sky, and you'll understand why it encourages us to rise above anger, attachment, and anything that drags us down emotionally. It quietly teaches us to live with virtue, to stay true to ourselves, and to keep our hearts light and free. Now, standing firm beside the crane is the pine tree, a symbol that couldn't be more grounded. Known for its ability to survive on high mountains through bitter winters, the pine represents resilience, strength, and long-lasting health. In Feng Shui, it brings in the kind of energy that clears out negativity and helps you and your loved ones feel more rooted, protected, and stable over time. So when you put the crane and pine together in one painting, you're inviting a rare kind of energy into your space. An energy that brings mental clarity, emotional stability, and a quiet yet powerful sense of harmony that touches everyone in the home. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt calmer, as if the space itself was offering you a sense of peace? That's the kind of effect a crane and pine painting can have when placed with care and intention. Now, you might be wondering, where should you place such a meaningful piece of art? The best spots are places where energy flows and where you spend time in stillness or connection. Your living room, meditation area, or any quiet corner where you can see it regularly. According to Feng Shui, placing this painting in the northeast or southwest areas of your home can help attract longevity, calm energy, and act as a natural shield against stress and harmful influences. Because the truth is, what you look at daily doesn't just decorate your surroundings. It shapes your mind, your mood, and your focus. Why not choose to surround yourself with symbols that uplift you and reflect the kind of life you want to live? This painting is more than just a visual. It's a reminder of who you are becoming. It whispers the values of living wisely, staying steady, and keeping your purpose in view even when life gets messy. And here's the beautiful part. When you choose to decorate your space with intention, you're also making a quiet decision to no longer be passive in your own life. You're telling the universe that you're ready to take an active role in creating joy, harmony, and abundance, on your own terms and with a clear heart. Because in the end, you don't need to chase results or force anything. As the wisdom goes, there is no need to rush. All it takes is sincerity. When your heart is clear and your wish is kind, the universe will always find its way to respond. So ask yourself this: what kind of energy are you inviting into your life right now? And what small but meaningful changes can you make today to align your space and your heart with the life you truly wish to live? Let this be a gentle invitation to bring beauty with purpose into your home. The lessons here are simple but powerful. Surround yourself with symbols that reflect resilience and grace. Choose intention over impulse, and remember, every space you shape is also shaping you. Number 6. The 9 Koi Gathering Painting. If you've ever felt like your home could use a touch of peace, inspiration, or a little energetic boost to welcome prosperity, then let me share with you something special. Something simple, yet deeply symbolic. The 9 Koi Gathering Painting. This artwork isn't just beautiful to look at. It's a visual prayer, a timeless emblem of wealth, harmony, and spiritual grace. In Eastern traditions, koi fish are more than just ornamental creatures. They are living symbols of perseverance, good fortune, and transformation. And when 9 of them come together in one painting, swimming gracefully around lotus blossoms in calm, flowing water, that's when the magic begins. The number 9 in Chinese, Ji, means eternal or long-lasting. It whispers of fortune that doesn't fade, of abundance that isn't fleeting but stays, like the gentle presence of a kind friend who never leaves your side. You see, koi fish have an ancient story tied to them. The legend of the koi who swims upstream, struggling against the current, only to leap over the mythical dragon gate and transform into a powerful dragon. Isn't that what many of us are trying to do in life? We're swimming through responsibilities, setbacks, and sometimes even storms, hoping to break through and rise into our next chapter. This painting reflects that very journey. It's not just for business owners or investors. It holds a quiet, powerful message for students preparing for exams, for anyone chasing a dream, for every person who wakes up each day hoping to do a little better, climb a little higher. Hanging this painting in your home is like offering a blessing to your entire family, a silent encouragement to keep going, to rise beyond limitations. Now, let's look deeper. In Feng Shui, fish represent the water element, symbolizing wealth, flow, and energy. And when they swim in water surrounded by lotus flowers, it takes the symbolism to another level. The lotus lian in Chinese also means continuity, which points to unbroken prosperity and inner calm. And it's not just about money. In Buddhist thought, the fish, especially when moving freely, is seen as a metaphor for spiritual liberation. It reminds us to move through life with mindfulness and ease, to be in the world yet not caught by it. As the Buddha once said, "As a fish that swims through water without leaving a trail, so too does the awakened one move through the world unbound." Isn't that a beautiful image? When you gaze at the 9 Koi painting, it's not only your material life that gets a blessing, it's your emotional and spiritual balance too. So ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want to invite into my home? Am I creating a space where both abundance and peace are welcome? Sometimes, one painting, thoughtfully chosen, can serve as a gentle guardian of your intentions. Personally, I believe surrounding yourself with symbols that uplift and inspire is one of the most subtle yet powerful ways to shape your environment and your inner world. The 9 koi gathering painting does just that. It's more than decor, it's a quiet field of intention, where each stroke of color tells a story of resilience, harmony, and grace. And maybe, just maybe, it's the sign you've been waiting for. Thank you for being here and watching today's video. I'm truly grateful to have you as part of our growing community. If this message about abundance and attracting wealth through meaningful symbols resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experience or simply drop a comment below. If you're new here, just type "I am a seeker" to say hello, and if you've been with us for a while, let us know by saying "I am aligned." Your presence and engagement mean so much. They help keep this journey of wisdom alive for everyone. Now, let's keep moving forward together on this path toward prosperity and peace. The hidden energy of art, 4 paintings that disrupt peace and drain prosperity. Have you ever felt uneasy in a room without knowing exactly why? Sometimes the source isn't the furniture, lighting, or layout, it's the art hanging silently on the wall. What we display in our homes speaks volumes to our subconscious. In Feng Shui and many spiritual traditions, visual symbols are not merely decorative. They are energetic messengers, shaping the emotional tone of your space. A painting might appear beautiful or bold, but if it carries the wrong kind of energy, like decay, chaos, violence, or raw aggression, it can slowly erode your peace, cloud your thoughts, and subtly shift your mood. This isn't superstition. It's a real and powerful connection between what we see and how we feel. In this guide, we'll explore 4 types of paintings you should be cautious about. Artworks that may be silently working against the harmony, prosperity, and emotional clarity you want to cultivate in your life. If your home is your sanctuary, then every element inside should help you thrive, not just survive. Let's uncover the silent signals you might be missing and what kind of visual energy you really want surrounding you. Number 1. Withered leaves, flowers, or winter scenes. While paintings of falling leaves, withered flowers, and bare winter landscapes may at first seem poetic and even beautiful, calling to mind quiet afternoons, fading memories, and the serene stillness of nature's decline, they often carry with them an energy that subtly but deeply affects a human spirit. In the world of Feng Shui, such imagery is more than aesthetic, it is symbolic. These pictures represent not just the change of seasons, but the idea of decline, endings, and detachment. And while Buddhism acknowledges impermanence, that all things arise and pass away, there is a crucial distinction between understanding this truth and decorating our homes with symbols that echo sadness, loss, and fading life. As the Dhammapada reminds us, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. The home is not just where we sleep and eat. It is the sacred ground where our energy gathers, our emotions take root, and our relationships flourish. Bringing in artwork that subtly communicates all things must end can, without us realizing it, begin to weigh down the atmosphere, especially for those already struggling with health issues, aging, or emotional fatigue. Just as we wouldn't plant dying seeds in a garden we want to see bloom, we should be equally mindful about the visual seeds we plant on our walls. Even if the colors are soft or the brushwork masterful, the underlying message of these images can stir subconscious feelings of stagnation, melancholy, or being stuck in a season that has passed. That emotional tone, over time, can slow down a household's vitality. much like how a cold winter wind quiets a once lively forest. In modern life, we are already surrounded by uncertainty and change. Job pressures, digital overload, family tensions. So it becomes even more essential that our home offers renewal and strength, not reminders of loss. A home should be like the spring of the heart, where renewal is felt every time we walk through the door. Instead of paintings that highlight decay, choose those that uplift: blooming flowers, flowing water, sunrises, and vibrant natural scenes that echo life, growth, and possibility. This doesn't mean we deny impermanence or turn away from the seasons of life. Rather, it means we choose to focus on what brings us vitality and hope in our sacred space. Number 2. Dark abstract paintings, or those that feel chaotic. Let's talk about a type of art that may look interesting at first glance, but can unknowingly impact your emotional well-being. Dark or chaotic abstract paintings. Now, some abstract art pieces can be deeply captivating. Maybe it's the swirl of colors, the sharp lines, or the mysterious feeling they stir up inside. They might seem expressive and bold, even thought-provoking. But have you ever walked into a room, glanced at a painting, and suddenly felt a little tense, heavy, or unsettled without knowing why? That's not just your imagination. In the world of feng shui, which is all about how our surroundings affect our inner state, certain kinds of artwork, especially abstract pieces filled with dark colors, sharp angles, and jarring visual energy, are believed to introduce unstable energy into a space. They might hold aesthetic value, sure, but that doesn't always mean they carry positive energetic value. And the difference between the two can deeply affect the way we feel in our most personal spaces. Your home isn't just a place where you sleep, eat, or work. It's your emotional landscape. It mirrors your internal world, moment by moment. Think about it. What you see every day becomes part of your mental and emotional scenery. A painting with a dark or disordered tone might seem like a bold design choice, but over time it can pull your thoughts into unrest, increase anxiety, or make your environment feel heavier than it needs to be. And this becomes especially important in places like your bedroom, your office, or your meditation corner, spaces where you seek clarity, rest, and peace. As the Buddha said so beautifully, when the mind is at peace, the surroundings are peaceful. When the surroundings are chaotic, the mind becomes disturbed. It's a gentle reminder that our external environment and internal balance are intimately connected, like two mirrors reflecting each other. So here's a question for you. How does your current space make you feel? When you sit in your living room, lie in bed at night, or walk into your office in the morning, do you feel uplifted and calm, or do you feel a sense of tension that you can't quite name? Art has power. It speaks not just to your eyes, but to your spirit. That's why we need to look beyond whether something simply looks cool and ask ourselves what it brings into our lives energetically. Of course, artistic freedom is important, and no one's saying you can't appreciate edgy or intense artwork. But when it comes to what lives on your walls every day, ask yourself, is this art helping me feel clear, inspired, and whole, or is it quietly feeding stress and noise into my space? If you truly love abstract art, there's a middle path. Look for pieces with harmonious colors, maybe soft blues, earthy tones, or warm neutrals. Find compositions that feel balanced, that open up your inner world instead of closing it down. Choose pieces that bring light and not just contrast, that express depth but not confusion. These kinds of artworks don't just decorate your home, they nurture your energy, support your mindfulness, and make your space a true place of restoration. So, here's the simple lesson. Your home should feel like a retreat, not a battlefield. Everything you bring into it, including art, should support your journey to peace, not pull you away from it. Let your walls tell a story of calm, healing, and quiet strength. What kind of energy do you want your space to hold? Let that guide your choices, and your heart will thank you for it. Number 3. Paintings that feature weapons, swords, or blades. Let's take a moment together and reflect on something we often overlook: the kind of energy we invite into our homes through art. You may not realize it at first, but even a simple painting on your wall, one that looks bold, powerful, or beautifully detailed, can deeply affect the way you feel and how your home supports or disrupts your peace. Now, let's talk about one specific category of paintings that you should think twice about before hanging up: artworks that feature weapons, swords, guns, spears, or any kind of armament. On the surface, they may look dramatic or heroic, especially when shown in historical battles or as part of some stylized fantasy scene. But underneath the surface, beauty lies an energy that runs completely counter to what most of us want our homes to be: places of rest, safety, and healing. Have you ever walked into a room and felt uneasy, even though you couldn't quite explain why? Sometimes it's not the furniture or lighting, it's the energy of the objects within the space. In Feng Shui, weapons are powerful symbols of shatqia, kind of sharp, cutting energy that disrupts the natural flow of harmony in an environment. Even if the weapons are not real, their image alone carries the psychological weight of conflict, aggression, and defense. Think about it. What kind of emotional vibration does a gleaming sword or a chaotic battle scene really send into a room where your children play, or where you rest your head at night? Do we want our living spaces to whisper peace or shout war? There's an old saying, weapons are created to harm, not to heal. And even though in some traditions swords or blades are used symbolically for protection, such as in martial arts or spiritual rituals, they are always placed with sacred intent in areas that are carefully prepared and protected. That's why displaying such imagery casually, especially in common areas like living rooms or bedrooms, often causes more harm than good. Over time, this energy seeps into the background of your life, subtly influencing your mood and interactions. Have you noticed more frequent arguments in your home, or a sense of emotional unease that doesn't seem to have a clear cause? The art on your walls may be speaking louder than you think. From a Buddhist perspective, this goes even deeper. In the teachings of the Buddha, every form we see creates a kind of mental imprint, a seed planted quietly in the soil of our mind. Over time, those seeds grow into thoughts, habits, even emotional tendencies. So, when we constantly expose ourselves to imagery rooted in combat, defense, and division, even unintentionally, we begin to condition our minds to respond to life in the same way, with tension, suspicion, and the readiness to fight. And the more we live in a mental state of conflict, the less room we leave for joy, compassion, or stillness. If your mind is always armed, how can your heart truly rest? This is especially important if you live with children or elders. Their minds are often more open and sensitive to subtle energies. For them, being surrounded by imagery that radiates violence or aggression, even if it's just a painting, can be unsettling or confusing. They may not be able to put it into words, but the discomfort shows up in behavior, mood, and even sleep patterns. Don't we owe it to those we love to create a space that protects their well-being, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too? Now, this doesn't mean you have to give up all dynamic or powerful artwork. If you're someone who feels drawn to strength and movement, you can still express that side of yourself through more balanced imagery. Consider a painting of a peaceful warrior in meditation, or a graceful martial artist in a pose that speaks to discipline and inner calm. These kinds of images embody true power, not the power to destroy, but the power to master oneself. Isn't that the kind of strength we want to invite into our homes? At the heart of it all is a simple question. What do you want your space to say about you, and how do you want it to make people feel? Art is not just decoration. It's a silent teacher, an atmosphere creator. So let it teach peace, inspire balance, and reflect the kind of life you wish to live. Because your home isn't a battlefield, it's a sanctuary. Let it feel like one. Thank you for staying with us so far. These paintings may seem beautiful, but their hidden energy could be blocking your path to calm and success. If you're ready to reclaim your inner peace, type "Protect my space" in the comments. And remember, the final insights coming up may be just what you need to realign your environment and your energy. Number 4. Paintings of fierce tigers. In many traditions around the world, the tiger stands as a symbol of immense power, courage, and guardianship. Yet, despite its majestic presence and revered status in various mythologies and spiritual practices, it's important to understand that not every image of a tiger brings positive energy into our lives, especially when the portrayal leans toward aggression. A painting that captures a tiger mid-roar, baring its teeth, muscles tensed, and eyes burning with intensity, might seem like a striking artistic choice, but it can actually disturb the balance of energy in a home. Rather than serving as a symbol of strength or protection, such an image often radiates a subtle but sharp force that unsettles the environment. Traditional feng shui emphasizes the importance of energy harmony, where the flow within a space should feel neither stagnant nor overwhelming. When you introduce an image filled with such charged emotion, especially in areas where you seek rest, healing, or emotional clarity, that energy becomes counterproductive. It's a bit like inviting a warrior into a temple, powerful but disruptive to the quiet, nurturing spirit the space needs. This becomes even more relevant in households with spiritually sensitive individuals, such as children, the elderly, those recovering from illness, or expectant mothers. These groups are often more attuned to shifts in emotional and energetic states, and while they may not be able to name the discomfort, they may feel uneasy, experience frequent mood swings, have disturbed sleep, or even feel tension with other family members for reasons that seem to come out of nowhere. These are often subtle cues that something in the environment is out of sync. From a deeper spiritual lens, the tiger is not just a wild animal. It represents untamed emotional force, survival instinct, and shadow energy. It is often linked with dense forests and rugged landscapes, symbolic of life's internal challenges, fears, and the unknown. So when we place that archetype into a home, especially in such a fierce confrontational form, it can unconsciously mirror or even stir those hidden struggles within us. A home should be a place of refuge, a soft landing after the storms of the outside world, where warmth and connection flow naturally. When we place objects or artwork that subtly trigger a fight or flight response, even if it's just emotional tension or unease, we begin to chip away at the peace we've worked so hard to build. As the Buddha once taught, an angry mind burns away good deeds like a wildfire. The lesson here is simple. When we surround ourselves with symbols that ignite tension or aggressive energy, we may unknowingly cultivate more of those feelings within ourselves. It can make us less patient, less kind, and less able to show up with compassion in our relationships. However, This doesn't mean you have to completely remove all representations of the tiger from your life if it's an animal you deeply respect or connect with. The key lies in choosing wisely. A tiger resting peacefully, sitting with quiet dignity and a calm gaze, can still convey strength, but it does so without shaking the emotional foundation of your space. If you work in a field that demands courage, leadership, or sharp decision-making, placing a more assertive image of a tiger in your office or workspace might actually be empowering. But in shared family areas, bedrooms, or meditation spaces, lean toward imagery that supports peace, reflection, and emotional grounding. In the end, every object we bring into our space speaks to us, subtly influencing our mood, our thoughts, and even our relationships. So when choosing artwork, consider not just what looks powerful, but what feels truly aligned with the kind of life and emotional atmosphere you want to cultivate. And there you have it. Just a few powerful, intentional choices in the art you hang can shift the entire energy of your home and, in turn, your life. These paintings aren't just decoration. They're quiet allies, gently supporting your journey toward abundance, clarity, and peace. If today's insights brought you value, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who could use a little more prosperity in their life, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson in mindful living and ancient wisdom. Remember, it's not about forcing wealth, it's about creating the right space for it to arrive. Until next time, may your home be peaceful, your heart full, and your path guided by intention.